carbolic.
Oh, that's right, carbolic. And insect powder.
Well, I wish you'd have told me while I was still submerged.
You got insects?
No, but you soon will have, unless you put powder down, won't you?
Anyway, Beatty, so?
Well, the next thing you'll never guess, bowling.
Never bowling.
Oh, some men are beasts. 2 evenings per week.
Per week?
Per week.
Insect powder.
Oh, tar. And a fly paper. They come in this time of the year, don't they, from the bins?
Tell you something, it's very good for my figure, is this, down periscope.
You're never going to let him get away with it, are you, Beatty?
Not altogether, oh no. When he settled down to watch the Western on Friday night, I got straight up and switched over to the BBC. All about puffins it was, just off Anglesey.
Oh, it's the only way.
Oh, aye, deprive them, Chuck, yeah.
Then the worst happened.
It never.
Last night. Oh, it hurts me to talk about it.
Were you friends, Beatty? Right, fly paper, you're all right for mouse traps.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
In his best shirt, the one I bought him for his birthday.
Look, Beatty, we are your friends, and if you don't feel you want to tell us, we'll understand.
Straight out. It's never happened before. The wrestling.
Wrestling, is that all?
Shh, Emma, keep your voice down.
Oh, the rotter.
Anyway, I'm teaching him a lesson he'll never forget in a hurry. And it'll do me Dad good to have me look after him. He's been neglected, you know.
Here we see is all right.
Ah, but it's not like your own kin, is it?
You know, if I think of a look, well, we might have some nerve gas for naughty gnats.
No, not today, thank you.
I tell you one thing, girls. There be no flies on Albert Tunnel.
I know it's no business of mine, Emily, but is it absolutely necessary to iron that dress a dozen times?
It's still got creases.
More than can be said for that gramophone record over there. If you play it again, it'll be as smooth as that dress. There is a case for putting, as my Billy would say, the flip side on.
I don't feel particularly flip this morning, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, Emily, no man is worth losing a night's sleep over.
I did not lose a night's sleep.
Oh, yes, you did, dear. I heard you moving about.
Well, in that case, you lost a night's sleep listening to me lose a night's sleep.
Ernest Bishop is just not worth it.
Worth what?
Well, whatever it is he's not worth it.
Very profound remark, Mrs. Walker.
Very true, nevertheless.
Considering, of course, that our original breakdown in relationship was brought about because you thought he was worth it.
Worth what?
Worth causing a row over. A rumpus. A stink.
A stink, Miss Nugent?
A stink. Yes, a stink. All over a few caricatures.
I see. So I'm to blame for the rift. Is that it?
To a point. Yes.
I see. And what am I expected to do about it? Go down on my hands and knees and apologise to bring the two of you together again?
I was only pointing out. Anyway, I have no particular inclination to see, hear, or speak to Ernest Bishop again. He's just not worth it.
That is exactly what I've been telling you all the time.
Certainly not losing a night's sleep over.
Do you think we could have that record off? One can have too much Chopin.
Tchaikovsky. I find his music quite restful as a rule, but...
But it didn't work last night.
No, I couldn't get to sleep at all, no. Mind you, there's a moment in the middle of the Nutcracker Suite, I thought I was going to make it, but no. It was such a close night last night.
Oh, I thought it was cooler myself.
The sweet water, distilled from the flowers of the privet. That's one of the finest things to help you to sleep.
Oh, I suggest a few large scotches distilled from the barley.
Well, as there are no privet bushes around here, the first remedy's impractical, and as it's not opening time, the second one's impossible, so I'll just have to make do with a couple of aspirin. I'll have a bottle, please, Maggie.
It wouldn't be Miss Nugent, would it?
Miss Nugent?
Yeah. You know, she used to work for you. Lives at the Rovers.
Oh, you know, for a moment I couldn't think who you were talking about. Thank you, Maggie. Perhaps it'll be a little cooler tonight.
Well, couldn't get any cooler, could it not? I mean, with the weather or them pair.
They are acting very silly, though, aren't they? You know, like like in them Hollywood things. It's a pity somebody can't tell one of them the other's ill. Then they'd be dashing around with bunches of grapes.
Or bottles of aspirin. Yeah. Would you share this aspirin with me? Hey, that's a good idea.
Oh, what can I get you, Betty?
Oh, never mind, love. I'll come back when you're not so busy. Hello.
Does my walking to the shop make you busy?
Well, it's like this, Alan, where there's nobody in with slack when there's somebody in with busy. She only came in for a good gossip. Razor blades,
Yes,
right?
please. What is the chat on the Rialto this morning?
Romeo and Juliet. Emily Nugent and Ernest Bishop.
Oh, I recognise that voice.
Hello?
Only I've just been thinking about you.
Well, I'm duly flattered.
Oh, do you know it was a flattering thought? It's very big-headed, isn't it? Listen, do you think the motor car's here to stay?
I don't see any reason why not, as long as you've kept up your HP payments.
Oh, you know very well what I mean. No, just in there I was imagining myself in a big swanky car driving along a continental road with the gendarmes saluting me and lifting them poles up.
It's, something she saw on telly last night.
I'm dead serious. I want to buy a car.
What for?
Well, to get from A to B and, well, you never know what funny goings on are happening at sea. Oh, she thinks I'm joking.
Well, I've got some motor car magazines down at the garage. I'll drop them in for you.
You do that. Do just that.
Cheers.
Funny. BT?
Yes, Dad?
Can you spare a minute?
What is it?
Have you been rooting?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, why should I?
Well, my army pension book should be underneath my old age pension book.
Are you suggesting?
No, I'm accusing.
Well, you can accuse yourself then. Maybe you're beginning to forget things. For one thing, you forget to change your shirt, don't you? Smell that. Sweeter now, isn't it? Why, you must have had it on a month of Sundays. Go on, smell. Good carbolic, that is.
Here, what are you trying to do? Turn this house into a chemical warfare establishment?
Can't abide germs and
No.
bacteria.
I reckon they don't think much about you either.
How you could wear that shirt anywhere now.
Yeah? Suppose I could, provided it were dry and I had my trousers on. I reckon I could.
Oh, I'll go and put it on the line.
BT,
Yes, Dad?
I'm just off out.
Oh, when will you be back?
Oh, I shan't be hurrying.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Walker, what about a booking?
Ah, no, I don't think my customers would appreciate good music.
Oh, don't let that worry you. We play very bad music.
Hey, come on, we're not all that bad. Mind you, I do see Mrs. Walker's point. If the customers are so enthralled with our music, they won't be stopping, will they?
Well, that's it then. We'll come in Saturday night, we'll play such damn bad music. All your customers will be getting so busy getting tanked up just to sort of anaesthetise themselves.
Ah, no, come on, I didn't say that. No, but music is such a personal thing, a communication between soul and soul.
Oh.
Only this morning, you know, Miss Nugent and I had a delightful couple of hours listening to a Chopin record.
Oh, Uncle Albert, can I get you a drink? Hello. My goodness me, if I got my trumpet with him, with me, I'll give him a couple of bars of Colonel Bogey.
Half a pint of mine, please.
I will get that one, Annie, love.
Then on second thoughts, I'll have a rum.
Right. I ran into your beater this morning in the corner shop.
All right. And make it a double, will you?
She's very worried about you, you know.
Oh, why, she's like that now, Beatty. Thinks the world of me, she does. Oh, yes, it's a pity that she's not staying with me because I like having her around.
Oh, she's not stopping then?
No. You see, if I were the selfish old chap that a lot of folks seem to think I am...
Double rum, Mr. Tatlock.
Thank you, love.
As I was saying, if I was selfish, I'd like her to stop and look after me. But you've got to think about others, haven't you?
Albert Tatlock, selfish.
The very last.
Well, I mean, there's a marriage to be considered.
Oh, yes, I was saying that her and Norman are made for each other.
Well, that's what I think, so I'm doing the best I can to reconcile them.
If there were more people as unselfish as Albert Tatlock, people like me would be flaming broke.
Hey, you feel that rather bold, mate?
Oh, no, thanks.
301, isn't it?
No.
What's the matter with you? Yeah, that's a bit strong for you, isn't it? Redding is called that fire warded, you know, and you're supposed to be a missionary. You'll be gun running next, won't you?
This is recommended to me as a herbal remedy.
Ah, same as this. Hops is good for me back.
Oh, well, let me get you another one, Stanley.
No law against it.
Hello, Mr. Bishop. You've heard, have you?
Heard what?
About Miss Nugent.
Pint for Mr. Ogden, please.
Oh, she's ill. This'll be bitter, will it?
Ill?
Oh, yes, she was sent home from work. I believe she had a terrible night.
I believe you had a terrible night.
Oh, and half a pound of tea, please.
You and I know only too well what it's like to be on our own, Miss Nugent, but then we're women. Men on their own are like helpless children. Quite frankly, I was a bit worried about selling him the full bottle.
Full bottle of what?
Aspirins. I asked him if I could get a doctor, but you know what he's like. He just said no thanks and went straight out. I don't think he even knew in which direction he was going.
I'll pay for these later. I'll just take them back to Mrs. Walker. And,
What would you do, Stanley, if somebody came in here now and told you that your wife was ill?
Send them home and tell her to go to the doctor.
Well, there'd be such a thing as sympathy, surely.
Sympathy? Oh, aye, somebody make me a meal, is that what you mean?
I suppose that's where you and I differ, Stanley. You see, I'm a lay preacher. It's my vocation to show sympathy, understanding, love even, to one's fellow men and fellow women. Even though one has just had a difference of opinion with one of one's fellow women.
I've understood a flipping word you're talking about.
I've just been informed that Miss Nugent is indisposed.
Oh, sympathy, I see what you mean, yeah. I'll get you another drink, eh?
No, that's not what I meant either. I'm going up to see her.
Ernest! Where are you going?
See Miss Nugent.
Oh, no.
Why not?
Well, I mean, she's got a temperature. She could be feverish. I mean, well, you know what it's like, don't you? Hallucinations and delusions. And, well, if you were to just go walking straight in...
Yeah, perhaps you're right.
Yeah. I tell you what, you send her some flowers and I'll see that she gets them when she comes out of her coma.
No, it's not enough.
No, well, listen, I tell you what. You go and sit in the living room and I'll go upstairs and see if she's all right.
Maybe you're right, then.
Yes. Oh, love. Oh, you do look pale. Now, go on straight upstairs and have a little rest.
Oh, I can't.
But you must, love. You look just like that woman in Bessie Street. Oh, now, go on straight upstairs and go to bed.
Sorry, Maggie's just told me Mr. Bishop's very ill. I'm just going to dump these in the kitchen and go and see him.
Oh.
Sit down.
No, I don't want to sit down. You sit down.
Please sit down. I'll make you a cup of tea.
No, you sit down and I'll make you a cup of tea. Now, why should I want to sit down?
Because you're ill.
No, you're the one that's...
Ill? Fiddlesticks. I've never felt so fit in all my life.
Yes, I must admit I feel quite on top of the world myself.
There's nothing to beat a good night's sleep.
Exactly.
Everything all right?
Fine, thank you. We were just saying how fit we both were.
Good. Why don't you make Mr. Bishop a nice cup of tea?
Oh, please don't bother. I've got some whiskey waiting for me. I've wasted enough drinking time as it is. Yes, drinking time.
Don't play it too loudly, dear.
Well, either you've got a woodpecker or it's Death Watch beetle in your big bass drum, Tim.
No, I haven't had a woodpecker around here for years, about 200 years, if my memory serves me right.
It's what we drummers call reverberation.
Well, they've got the beat, whoever it is. Lyric to that, and we're in the top 10.
Probably that old grandad of yours having his blunderbuss practice.
Yeah, uncle, and we left him in the Rovers, soaking.
Ah, then he'd be trying to contact you from the unknown world of alcohol. 1 tap means White Eagle wants to contact you. 2 taps means he doesn't.
Yeah, but there's quite a few taps there, and that in any language means shut up, you're making a flaming row.
Shut up.
No, we don't shut up. You wonder, Uncle Albert, when the older shot tattoos on the radio, I think about 100 pipers are going to marching out of the kitchen. Anyway, listen. We need the practice if we're going to get anywhere with that audition, particularly you two.
What?
Right, come on, then.
Soft and low.
Soft and low, OK?
What do you give him? Red Robin.
Red Robin, right.
You know, Chuck, I think we've dropped what some people might refer to as a clanger.
We? I like that.
Well, you never should have told Emily Nugent that Mr. Bishop was taking sulfur figs intravenously or whatever it was.
Well, it was my idea. I mean, how did I know you were going to speak to Annie Bishop?
Oh, well, you should have known. I mean, you know I'm a nosy Parker.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm one too.
Which all goes to show that you should never interfere with the path of true love. I read that once in a book.
That's a bit unusual for you, isn't it? Most of the books I've seen you reading haven't been nearly so high-minded.
No, well, I packed this book in at page 20. It was obvious it was going to be boring for the next 200 pages. Then he'd marry her.
Well, look, I'm going, Chuck. Hey, listen, try and get round tonight, because I heard Ernest Bishop arranging to meet Stan Ogden.
Oh, there's a man who could write boots. Me dad. Advice to the love lord.
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Hello, love.
Oh, excuse me, Matthew. Do you mind if I serve this gentleman, please? Could he interest you in anything, sir? Like me, for instance?
I thought I was the one that was supposed to be interesting you.
Oh, you do, darling.
No, in motor cars.
Oh, you'd interest me in that one very much. How much would it be about?
That's about £3,500. Of course, there are optional extras if you can afford them, like somebody like me to drive it for you and genuine zebra skin upholstery.
Oh, who'd want upholstery?
I think she's pulling your leg a bit, Alan.
Oh, shut up, you. I definitely want to buy a car.
Don't be daft.
I mean it, I'm not joking. Look, say something like that. And that was to have a litter. Well, I could have one of them, couldn't I? Something about 200 quid.
£200? I'm not driving you down to the Riviera in some cleft-out old banger like that.
I don't love, but I could drive you. I mean it, Alan. I am interested.
All right, I'll keep my eyes open.
Right.
Cheers.
Bye.
Sure. I like that, you know. A fella what keeps his eyes open better than one that keeps them shut.
Just one thing, Irma. Before you buy a car, learn to drive and, learn to drive carefully.
Oh, suppose you've been out.
Yeah, that's right, because I've just come in.
Well, where have you been, then?
Where you said, out. Yeah, well, it's given you plenty of time to go poking about, hasn't it?
What do you mean, Dad?
I mean, if you're looking for that 100,000 quid I've got hidden away, you know, it's stuffed in my mattress.
You're accusing me of going that drawer again, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Bit of a devil, innit? Your nephew insults you, and then your own flesh and blood goes snooping when your back's turned.
All right, I did go in that drawer. And do you know why? To get something to hammer on that wall for that very nephew what insulted you. He's trying to drive you out, you know, trying to get rid of you. He's got a band in there to annoy you. He knows you're an old man what needs your peace and quiet. So I knocked on the wall to make him stop.
Ta.
Right, let me want that.
Hey, did you hear that door slam next door? Maybe she's gone out.
Yeah, or it might be Uncle Albert coming back.
Perhaps she's gone out to get something for him.
Yeah? Well, all right, in that case, let us assume
Tell her.
that Beatty, the sweetie, is doing what her father, the General, would call a strategic retreat. So...
You're right, Beatty. They're doing it just to get at me.
You see what I mean, Dad? Now you see what I mean. Now you know why I was looking in that drawer. That's what I banged with.
Well, how did you know it would it draw to begin with?
Because the drawer came open once.
Oh, I see. That were when the house tilted.
I mean, when I caught me penny against the handle.
Hello, hey, what's all this banging? We can't hear ourselves play.
Have you no feeling? You go on, tell him, Dad, it's your house.
Not talking to him. Don't talk to folk what insult me.
You see now, you've hurt him. You're not content. You want to drive him out of his house and home by banging on dustbin lids and playing tin trumpets. But I'm warning you, it's got to stop, and stop now.
All right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play a little more quietly, but we are not going to stop playing.
You are? I'm telling you, you are.
Telling you we're not.
Then we'll see.
See what, BT?
Oh, we'll just see.
All right, then. We'll see.
Large gin and tonic, please, Mrs. Walker, and a large scotch.
Oh, I thought we had our anniversary last Thursday.
Yes, well, I was just thinking about sometime in the future we'll be having a silver wedding anniversary. I'm going to spend the next 24 years getting in shape for it.
Have you had a splendid sale or something?
No, perfectly ordinary day, nothing out of the ordinary. What kind of a day have you had?
Just like you, a very ordinary day.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
That'll be 87 pence, please.
Well, I suppose if you say it fast enough, it sounds like nothing at all. What sort of a day have you had, Mrs. Walker?
I wish I knew.
Well, if your things are good for you, they're good for me too. I look towards you.
That catches your eye.
She's up in the clouds. Spent half the day dreaming she was driving round and round the Alps in an Alfa Romeo. Hey, isn't that right? What?
Hey, wake up, love. You've just gone over a halt sign.
Yeah, you could be right, Len. Anyway, when are you going to get yourself a new car? I wouldn't mind going for a spin to the Riviera myself.
Well, I have thought about getting something,
Yeah?
you know. I thought I'd get a 10-hundredweight Ford van, and then I can put me trestles in the back, me tables, all me gear.
Ooh, how romantic. We could pull up into a lay-by, put a plank on the trestles, set the table, and sit in a couple of oil drums.
What's the good of wasting all that petrol going all the way to the Riviera? There's a croft on Bessie Street.
I'm going home.
You've only just come.
What's up with that?
Oh, just Irma being Irma.
There are more things in life than women, Stanley.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. There's this.
Surely one shouldn't resort to alcohol.
What are you going to do? Start knitting a jumper or something?
It's merely a temporary expedient.
Now listen, you've got to get Miss Newton out of your mind, haven't you, right? Good. Then you want hobbies. Hobbies and interests.
I've got my interest, religion.
That's not enough. You don't mean to tell me those blokes in the Bible, in between doing miracles, didn't nip down to the betting shop?
I hardly think so, Stan.
You don't know, do you? Listen, man can do without a woman. Because apart from this, he's got his darts, he's got his dominoes, he's got a punch up at the Stretford end, a kip on the couch. And you, as a preacher, should know that God gave him all those, eh?
Finished playing your record, dear?
I thought I'd like to serve behind the bar.
I thought you'd renounced the bar.
That was a long time ago. You might say I've been called back to it again.
A gesture of defiance, Emily?
A declaration of independence, Mrs. Walker.
What's she doing now?
I think she's serving pints.
Not really.
Unless she's going to jump on the bar and do a can, you know.
Right. Stanley, what will you have to drink?
A pint, and God bless you.
Right.
Good evening.
I'd like a whiskey, please.
Scotch or Irish?
Scottish.
Any particular blend?
Blend?
Or would you prefer a malt?
Well, just a whiskey, please.
I see.
And a pint of beer.
Mild, bitter, or mixed?
Oh, really? This situation is impossible.
Just being daft.
And then I've been thinking. Miss Nugent was perfectly right this morning when she said that unwittingly I had been the cause of the rift. I think it's my duty to effect a reunion.
Oh, no, don't. Please don't, Mrs. Walker. I mean, I tried and it just didn't work. Terrible things could happen.
Kenneth Barlow. Barlow. Number 3, Coronation Street. Well, it's me dad, really. He's an old man. He needs his rest. Yes, Sergeant, they're making this row all day and all night. Well, I did ask him, Sergeant. I asked him very nicely, and he threatened violence. Well, sort of hinted. But it was a threatening hint, if you know what I mean. Why, me and me dad are terrified.
Right, lads. Are we ready to go again? Come on.
Well,
give me another turn. What you do? Flight the bumblebee? No, not that clever. I'll tell you what, the...
Mozart trumpet.
No, I'm not clever enough for that either. We'll try John Brown's Body.
John Brown's
okay?
Body it is.
Right, let it rip then, boy. Let's give it some work.